Welcome to the Columbus Hospitality Group. You're about to take a tour of 4 of the finest restaurants in Boston, focusing on the finest cuisine and the highest level of hospitality.
Gracious, sophisticated, seductive, distinctive, Mistral is Boston's acclaimed French restaurant from celebrated chef-owner Jamie Mamano. Located in the city's stylish South End, Mistral signature dishes include sushi-grade tuna tartare, Dover sole Mornier, black burgundy truffle macaroni with Madeira and Parmesan, thin crust pizza with beef tenderloin, mashed potatoes, and white truffle oil, and warm chocolate torte. Private dining is also available at Le Salon de Mistral. Around the corner in Copley Square at Sorellina, the kid sister of Mistral, Chef Mamano provides an intense look at regional Italian food. He and executive chef partner Robert Jean have created a contemporary Italian Mediterranean cuisine in an upbeat and sophisticated environment. Sorellina's wine list features hidden Italian gems to complement their dishes, including red beet farcito ravioli and seasonal preparations of wild Alaskan king salmon and roasted Colorado saddle of lamb. Chef Mamano's modern steakhouse, Moo, is located in Beacon Hill. There he uses his culinary expertise to create classic yet modern steakhouse dishes, including Kobe beef dumplings and tenderloin of beef Wellington, and his unique presentation of seasonal traditional steakhouse sides. The private dining room at Moo, the wine cellar, offers the most exclusive private dining venue in the city. Teatro, located in the theater district overlooking the Boston Common, offers a modern approach to classic Italian dishes. Teatro offers well-made craft cocktails, an extensive wine list, and the menu offers piattini, or small plates, and favorites such as the antipasta for two and the rigatoni bolognese. Valet parking is available at all of Chef Mamano's restaurants, or the complimentary car service will pick you up at your hotel.
Welcome to the Columbus Hospitality Group. You're about to take a tour of 4 of the finest restaurants in Boston, focusing on the finest cuisine and the highest level of hospitality.
Gracious, sophisticated, seductive, distinctive, Mistral is Boston's acclaimed French restaurant from celebrated chef owner Jamie Mamano. Located in the city's stylish South End, Mistral signature dishes include sushi-grade tuna tartare, Dover sole Mornier, black burgundy truffle macaroni with Madeira and Parmesan, thin crust pizza with beef tenderloin, mashed potatoes, and white truffle oil, and warm chocolate torte. Private dining is also available at Le Salon de Mistral. Around the corner in Copley Square at Sorellina, the kid sister of Mistral, Chef Mamano provides an intense look at regional Italian food. He and executive chef partner Robert Jean have created a contemporary Italian Mediterranean cuisine in an upbeat and sophisticated environment. Sorellina's wine list features hidden Italian gems to complement their dishes, including red beet farcito ravioli and seasonal preparations of wild Alaskan king salmon and roasted Colorado saddle of lamb. Chef Mamano's modern steakhouse, Moo, is located in Beacon Hill. There he uses his culinary expertise to create classic yet modern steakhouse dishes, including Kobe beef dumplings and tenderloin of beef Wellington, and his unique presentation of seasonal traditional steakhouse sides. The private dining room at Moo, the wine cellar, offers the most exclusive private dining venue in the city. Teatro, located in the theater district overlooking the Boston Common, offers a modern approach to classic Italian dishes. Teatro offers well-made craft cocktails, an extensive wine list, and the menu offers piattini, or small plates, and favorites such as the antipasta for two and the rigatoni bolognese. Valet parking is available at all of Chef Mamano's restaurants, or the complimentary car service will pick you up at your hotel.
Welcome to the Old North Church, one of the most historic places in America, one of the places where the American Revolution began. Hello, my name is William Dawes. You may not have heard of me before, but I was one of the folks who rode along with Paul Revere to alarm the countryside on the first night of our revolution, April 18th of '75. But there were other men involved. A man named Robert Newman, for instance, who was the sexton of the Old North Church. One if by land, two if by sea. Ever heard of that before? Well, Robert Newman was the man who made that happen with these 2 lanterns upstairs in the high steeple of this church. Let's go see it right now. Paul Revere had made a prior arrangement with Robert Newman to hang lanterns in the tower of the Old North Church if the British invaded the countryside. Newman had to escape his home, where there were British soldiers in the downstairs area, in order to do it. But on the night in question, he was climbing the stairs into the tall steeple, lanterns in hand. We're only 2 stories up of 14. We've got a long way to go. This is the bell-ringing chamber. Paul Revere was a bell ringer here as a young boy, and that's how he became acquainted with the excellent view of the countryside from the tall steeple. Come on, we've still got a ways to go. And here we are at last. You know, this would have been a lot more difficult at night for Robert Newman. But here we are in the steeple of the Old North Church with a panoramic view of Boston all around. If you look off in that direction, you can see the masts of the USS Constitution. That's Charlestown. That's where they were looking for the lanterns in 1775. These are the windows from which Robert Newman would have hung his 2 lanterns on the night of April 18th of 1775. They were only up for a few minutes, but that was long enough. The message got through to Charlestown that the American Revolution had begun. Oh, what a climb. Oh, I'm all hot. Yeah, Robert Newman was quite hot and sweaty himself. When he got back to his home, well, the British soldiers who lived there with him accosted him and asked him why he was so hot and sweaty, and his story was that he had a fever. They believed him at the time, but you see, there were only 2 people who had keys to this church. It was not hard to figure out who had done this. Robert Newman was imprisoned within the next couple of days. But it didn't matter. The genie was out of the bottle. The American Revolution had begun. And part of it began right here at the Old North Church. If you'd like to come and visit the Old North Church, it's open every day of the year, except for Christmas and Thanksgiving, from 10 to 4 in the springtime and 10 to 5 in the summertime. Come here to experience the American Revolution.
Been to Boston before, you may never have heard of Newbury Street. Well, that is where we are, right here in the middle of Boston's historic Back Bay. Newbury Street has been touted as the Rodeo Drive of the East, and it has everything from high-end fashion stores to small boutiques, from little cafes to beautiful spas and salons. Now it serves as Boston's representative of fashion and style, on par with San Francisco, LA, and New York. The street is home to an eclectic mix of independent shops, high-end fashion, dining establishments, and art galleries. For the city's salon and hairstyle industry, there is no other location. Shops are upscale towards the Public Garden and more modest down towards Mass Ave. To tell you the truth, Newbury Street has a little something for everyone. Come on, let's go.
Hi, my name's Nick. I'm a line cook at the Stanhope Grill on Berkeley Street in the Back Bay. And this is Henner. He's one of our servers at the restaurant. And today we're going to demonstrate how to make Guinness braised short ribs that hopefully you can do at home, or you can come and join us for dinner as well.
Actually, this is the best one in town.
Marinated these for 24 hours in red wine, in some sliced oranges, some sliced shallots, and they've basically been marinating for 24 hours, and then we're going to braise them for 8 to 9 hours, very low temperature until they fall off the bone, until they're very nice and tender. This is what the final product looks like. So we're going to incorporate this into our braising liquid, which is the red wine, a little bit of veal stock that has been reduced down. And we're going to add to this some English peas and some carrots. Now here we have some braised white cabbage that's been cooked with some applewood smoked bacon and some Irish bacon and a little bit of vinegar, just cooked until nice and tender. And we're going to add that as well. We're going to add about 2 ounces of Guinness.
It has to be a Guinness.
I prefer Guinness. I think it just has a really nice flavor with the meat. This dish is kind of a play on Guinness beef stew. It's a little bit of a fancier version of that. Now, how we serve this at the restaurant is with a horseradish aioli. An aioli is basically a fancy term for mayonnaise. You can use just jarred mayonnaise at home if you want, and we've just mixed it in with a little fresh grated horseradish and some of the jarred horseradish that you can get at the grocery store.
And I can tell this is one of the favorite meats over here.
Oh yeah.
In Stanhope Grill, right?
Big seller.
Very famous, very popular dish.
It's one of our signature items. And now you see that the short rib is soaked up all that juice, so it's going to be really moist and tender. So we put that in the bottom. We're going to let it set for about 30 seconds. And then on top, we're going to put our cabbage. And to finish the garnish, it's a little bit of microgreens. This is just for color. You don't have to do this if you're making it at home. So come join us and try our Guinness braised short ribs at the Stanhope Grill on Berkeley Street.
In Boston, Back Bay.
One of the most highly acclaimed dining experiences in the Back Bay is Stanhope Grill. The chef has created a diverse menu that focuses on high-quality American favorites, including fresh seafood dishes, succulent rack of lamb, and New England's best lobster bisque. The dining area extends into an open-air terrace, perfect for people watching. Stanhope Grill is hip, young, and refreshingly free of pretension. Perfect for romantic dates or dinner with friends. Stanhope Grill is open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as spectacular Sunday brunch, and located at 154 Berkeley Street in historic Back Bay.
Cuffs, an Irish bar, plays homage to Boston's finest at the former Boston Police Headquarters. Cuffs provides a light-hearted atmosphere with excellently prepared cocktails, great food including barbecue pulled pork, beef and Guinness stew, as well as an array of traditional Irish and American offerings. Cuffs, an Irish bar, is open daily until 2 a.m. and is located at 154 Berkeley Street in historic Back Bay. Cheers!
In December 1773, a group of Bostonians determined to resist the Acts of Parliament that taxed the tea threw chests of tea into Boston Harbor. In London, the news of the Boston Tea Party was met with horror. Parliament decided, and the King's ministers decided, that Bostonians must be punished. And so the port of Boston was closed. A General Gage, was sent here to bring order. British troops, the dreaded Redcoats, were sent as well. Things were tense in Boston in 1774. Early in 1775, matters grew even more grave. The Massachusetts Provincial Congress left Boston. They were meeting in Concord under the leadership of Samuel Adams and John Hancock. General Gage here in Boston was determined to take control. He was particularly alarmed when he heard that munitions, cannons, gunpowder were being gathered in the town of Concord to outfit the Massachusetts militia, the Minutemen. And so, on the evening of the 18th of April, 1775, 800 British soldiers gathered here at the foot of Boston Common to prepare to cross the Charles River to make their march on Lexington and Concord. They crossed quietly, but not without notice, for the Boston Committee of Safety knew that the British were on the march tonight, and they dispatched two messengers, Paul Revere and William Dawes, to alarm the countryside that the regulars were out tonight. Well, the regulars did cross the Charles. They landed in Cambridge, and they began their march towards Lexington and Concord. By now, of course, the secret march was a secret no more. The entire countryside was alarmed. Revere and Dawes carried the message to every Middlesex village and farm. As the British marched out towards Lexington, they could hear bells sounding in the distance. They could hear alarm guns going off. They knew that the Americans knew the regulars were out. In Lexington, Captain John Parker summoned his company of militia to stand and be ready for the British. They gathered on Lexington Green, and they waited and waited. When the British didn't arrive, Captain Parker told his men to stand down, but be ready to assemble again should the alarm sound. Towards dawn, on the morning of the 19th of April, suddenly the news came that the British were not far from the town. William Diamond, a young Lexington drummer, was summoned to tap the drum in alarm. Diamond did his job, and Captain Parker's men assembled on Lexington Green. As they approached the Americans, their officers yelled to them, "Lay down your arms, you damned rebels." In the meantime, Captain Parker told his men, "Stand firm, don't move." The story has it that Parker told his men, "Don't fire unless fired upon, but if they mean to have a war, then let it begin here." As the British approached, there was confusion. From a distance, we still don't know how or who or precisely where, but from a distance, from behind a stone wall, a shot was fired. That sent the British troops into a panic. They lowered their weapons, fired at the Americans who were standing there, charged with their bayonets. The British officers immediately regained control of their men, but it was too late. Several Americans lay dead on Lexington Green. Others were severely wounded. The British soldiers regrouped, took their arms, and began to huzzah. 3 huzzahs for the king. And then they marched off towards the town of Concord, leaving the people of Lexington to gather their dead and tend to the wounded.
Boston is regarded as an Irish city, and both Irish and American visitors alike consider Boston to be the Irish capital of America. You aren't here long before realizing the deep Irish roots that run through Boston's illustrious history. Logan Airport, the Callahan Tunnel, the McCormick, Kennedy and Moakley Federal Buildings, plus numerous parks, boulevards and memorials attest to the Irish presence in Boston. One of the most treasured memorials in Boston is the Irish Famine Memorial, here at the junctions of Washington and Milk Streets. It was unveiled in 1998 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Ireland's Great Hunger in the 1840s. Irish have been settling in Boston since the early 18th century and have put their distinctive mark on the city's politics, business, culture and social life. Today, Irish culture is enjoyed and appreciated by Boston residents and visitors, and groups like U2, Van Morrison, the Irish Tenors, Riverdance and the Chieftains have loyal followings. Boston has an old world charm, combined with a contemporary sensibility that visitors enjoy and seek out. Thank you. The art of hospitality, perfected in Ireland, is part of the ongoing tradition of the Irish coming to Boston and adding their considerable talents to this great city.
Boston is rich in history, including African American history. In 1863, the city hosted the 54th Regiment, the first all-black volunteer regiment to fight for the United States Army. You can learn more about the 54th Regiment and other aspects of Boston's Black history on the Black Heritage Trail. It's a 1.5-mile walking tour of Beacon Hill, where we look at homes of blacks in Boston and abolitionist history of Boston as well. There's also a timeline inside the museum that details information about black professional organizations and blacks' participation in the whaling industry and shipping industry as well. There's also artifacts for the 54th Regiment, like Robert Goldshaw's sword and a bust of Robert Goldshaw. The museum is open from 10 to 4 every day of the week except for Sundays.
Hi there, and welcome to Boston. If you're going to enjoy a favorite local dish, fresh Maine lobster, you're going to need to know what to do. Before digging in, be sure to fasten your lobster bib. Thank you. Here we have boiled lobster, served in classic New England style. Now for the best part. To open your lobster, start by grabbing your claw and twisting it and pulling it away to remove it from the body. Next, take your claw crackers, placing the lobster claw in between and squeezing until it cracks. Next, pick up the lobster by the tail, unfurl it, and twist to separate from the body. Break off the lobster tail flipper, and using your lobster fork, stick it under the lobster shell and pull to pull the meat out of the shell. With the claw already cracked, take your lobster fork, remove the smaller claw, peel apart your shell, and pull the meat out. Finally, dip your meat in your dish of warm, drawn butter. Bon appetit. That is how you open a lobster in Boston without looking like a tourist.
World-renowned for over 4 decades, Anthony's Pier 4 is essential for those who want to taste the local flavor and seafood Boston is famous for. Guests enjoy dazzling views of Boston Harbor while enjoying traditional New England dishes and inventive international cuisine, including lobsters from Anthony's own lobster company in Maine, fine cuts of meat and seafood grilled on our open hearth, an award-winning wine list and cocktail menu, fabulous desserts such as Grand Marnier Soufflé, and of course, Anthony's famous popovers. Come discover what locals, visitors, and celebrities have long known. For the freshest seafood, come to the pier. Anthony's Pier 4.
Hi there, my name is Melissa, and I'm here to tell you whether you're fun, flirty, sassy, or laid back, Boston's nightlife is what you crave. I'm here to show you Boston's hottest spots. Whether it be enjoying a Fenway Frank at a baseball game or sipping a signature teeny at one of the trendy lounges in Boston's Back Bay, Boston's nightlife possibilities are endless. For a more relaxed mood, kick back and grab a beer at a local bar. Listen to a live band and play some pool. Beantown also offers offers a wide variety of musical theater and dance art. Take it from a Boston baby who was born and bred here. Boston nightlife is where it's at. Come on, let's go.
Hello, my name is Greg Denherter, and this is 33 Restaurant and Lounge, located off the beaten path in Back Bay adjacent to the south end, right around the corner from the Chourice Hotel. Here at 33, we've combined a polished modern decor with an unparalleled award-winning contemporary American menu. Using only the finest ingredients available, our chef Anthony Dowdu produces unique specialities such as Maine crab salad and veal cheek ossobuco. Our chefs acclaim Noria wrap Indonesian tuna and classic surf and turf as main course. And of course, 33 is also known for its banana foster bread pudding. While perfect for groups or couples, singles travelers find 33 quite comfortable, especially on our Hot Off the Vine Wednesdays, where each week between 5 and 7 we explore a different wine-producing region. The nightlife at 33 is a must-have Boston experience. Descend our LED-lit stairway into another world, where we've created a spatial experience from light and creation of colors seen only in paradise, where each night brings a different theme and popular music genre. Reserve one of our VIP tables and unwind amongst pillows and plush oversized seating. Join me nightly at 33. I guarantee you won't be disappointed.
Playing in an orchestra is all about teamwork and precision, and the conductor is really the coach of that team. My job up there is to bring all these individual artists into the same place at the same time and create something that's greater than the sum of our individual parts. When I'm conducting, I'm not thinking about anything other than the music, not thinking about the people around you, not thinking about what kind of day you've had, only thinking about making great music. And when you're doing that, you know you're having a great concert. The Boston Pops is one of this country's oldest cultural institutions. It's almost a century and a quarter old. We call ourselves America's Orchestra because this is really an orchestra that has a constituency that goes far beyond Boston, far beyond New England, to all of America and the rest of the world. I think it's really the orchestra that plays the most exciting mix of music from all cultures, from all walks of life, from Broadway, from jazz, world music, and of course the great classics written for symphony orchestra. And we just think that we're the greatest combination of art and entertainment that you can ever find in an orchestra concert.
On June 16, 1775, 1,200 American militia marched from Cambridge to come to Charlestown to build a fortification on Bunker's Hill. Their orders were to build a formidable place to drive the British out of Boston. The British immediately decided that they needed to be moved off that hill. 2,000 British soldiers came over from Boston, marched up the slope of this hill. As they were marching up, the American commander, Colonel Prescott, told his men, "Don't fire. Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes." As they drew near, Colonel Prescott commanded, "Volley, fire!" The British soldiers went down in windrows, back, reeling down the hill. They came up a second time. Again, Prescott told his men, "Hold your fire, hold your fire." They came close, the Americans fired again, and for a second time, the British retreated down the hill. They came up a third time. By this time, the Americans had run short of ammunition. The British came over the redoubt and drove the Americans off the hill. Nearly 450 Americans fell that day. More than twice that number of British soldiers died. The British crowed about their victory at Bunker's Hill, causing an American general, Nathaniel Greene, to comment, "Fine," he said, "we'll sell them hills at that price anytime." Among those who were witnessing the battle at Bunker Hill was Abigail Adams, at home in Braintree.
Now, it was Breed's Hill. It wasn't Bunker's Hill. There was a confusing there, because it is understood that perhaps the British had the wrong map with the wrong name of the hill. So what is known as the Battle of Bunker's Hill is actually on Breed's Hill, and the great monument called the Bunker Hill Monument is actually on the wrong hill. The cornerstone laid by the Marquis de Lafayette was in 1825. They finished building the monument in 1843. It is 221 feet high and it is open to the public.
I'm standing next to the United States frigate Constitution. She was launched in 1797 from the yard of Edmund Hart here in Boston. She fought the French in the Quasi-War. She fought the Barbary Corsairs in the Mediterranean, and she defended America in the War of 1812. It was in the War of 1812 that she earned her most famous victories. Off the coast of Nova Scotia, she encountered His Majesty's ship Guerriere. It was during that battle that American sailors saw British cannonballs bouncing off the sides of Constitution. The sailors called out, "Huzzah!" Her sides are made of iron, and hence her nickname, Old Ironsides. Her name was selected by President George Washington. He wanted this ship named after the document that governs our nation. She has never been beaten in battle. She is the oldest commissioned warship afloat in the world, and she is here in Boston, one of America's great treasures. In 1822, after nearly 200 years of being a town, the people of Boston voted to become a city. In the first mayoral election, Josiah Quincy ran for office. He lost. The next year, he ran again. This time, he won. Mr. Quincy had a vision for Boston. He was particularly interested in Dock Square, the area in front of Faneuil Hall. It was a dirty, mucky place filled with oyster shells and dead cats. Mr. Quincy decided that this would be the place where a new market should be built. Alexander Paris was the architect. Mr. Paris designed a magnificent granite structure. The building was opened, and almost immediately it became known as Quincy's Market. Over the 19th century, Quincy's Market began to deteriorate. It too fell into disrepair. By the mid part of the 20th century, it was a pretty sad sight here. But then came the American Revolution bicentennial. And in this town, an architect named Thompson and a developer named Rouse teamed up together to renovate and restore Quincy Market. With the aid of the mayor, Kevin White, this place magically reappeared. The market area was refurbished and restored and became what it is today, one of the central features of our town. Standing here in front of Faneuil Hall, 1742, Quincy Market is today what this area was always meant to be, the marketplace, the commercial center of this town.